Guys,
I'm Nick. I'm an addict. Man, it's an honor, man, to be asked to speak here. When I came around here, man, I was like broken and lost, right? The topic is don't have to think twice about it, and that's from Who is an Addict, man. It says in there that, when we came, our spirits were broken, and our ability to feel human was lost. When I found this home group during COVID, man, I finally felt like a part of something, right? Through a TV screen, never met these dudes, man. I felt welcome. I felt at home, man. So I'm grateful for this home group. I'm grateful for this conference, man. I'm grateful to get the opportunity, man, to share my experience, strength, and hope with these people up here, man. I guess it's a play on words. Like if you couldn't tell, man, he's my brother. He's my brother, man. You know what I mean? Don't have to think twice about it, man. I can tell you, man, that he's who planted the seed for me, man. He planted the seed for me, man. Again, in one of those times, man, like pure desperation, man. Didn't know where to go. I hear people say sometimes, man, like an undiagnosed addict running around, man, is like danger to himself and others. And that's what I was, man. I didn't know what was wrong with me, right? I didn't know why I couldn't stop using. I didn't know why I kept breaking out in handcuffs every time I started smoking crack. Because that's what happens to me, man. And the one time they got me, man, right, I'm down in Allegheny County Jail, and my brother came in for an H&I meeting, man. And he shared his experience, strength, and hope right across from me, right? And I felt some hope, man, right? I felt some hope, right? Because I knew where he was. I really didn't know what he was doing because he kept his distance from me, except for like Tuesday nights, right? I lived across the street from this meeting in Mount Washington for years, man. There was a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. I could throw a rock into the front door, and I'm pretty sure that's the only time he ever knew if I was dead or not in jail, right? Because he probably seen me pulling up constantly, running to and from the house, man, out of my mind, right? So, yeah, man. I wish I could say that was the Cinderella story, man. I heard my brother's message, and I never used again, right? It's not the story. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that, man. I wish I could say that. But, it was planted, right? And I experienced for the first time in my life, like some acceptance from people, right? He took me to my first convention, right? Made me stand up with 7 days clean, shaking. People were screaming. Walk up to the front and get a basic text, man. And I've been able to stay around for a little bit this time, man. And I've been able to give those gifts back to people. Some of them are still here with me on this journey, and some of them ain't, man. And I just pray for the ones that fell off, man. I hope they make it back someday. But yeah, man, don't have to think twice about it, right? Like today, man, I know that I can't use, man, no matter what. Like I know that, right? But I'm on like step 7, right? And I know that it ain't about the dope no more for me. I don't want to use, man. I don't want to use. I don't want to do none of that, But I also don't want to like stay in this bondage, man, of like myself and keep doing these behaviors, man, that hurt me and hurt other people, right? And I got a chance to go down to Texas, man, for this new job this past week, right? They flew me down there, right? Gave me a company credit card. I still got the card. They didn't ask me for it when I came back, man. They trust me, right? Because I got some anonymity today, man. I was able to stay clean and move forward in my life, right? And those people never have to know, man. They never have to know that I'm an addict, man. Right, so I got down there, man. I got to experience like the fellowship on a whole nother level, right? I got to experience the fellowship of like being able to call somebody when I got off an airplane in a different state, and they came and picked me up and took me to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. I don't have to think twice about that, man. I'm home. I'm home today. You know, no matter where I go, right? I can call somebody. I can get on this phone, right? The meeting was like next to this like creepy ass massage parlor, and the Uber driver's like, "Oh, you're here." I looked at him. I said, "I'm not going to a massage parlor," you know. And I called the dude, and he told me, "No, man, it's next door, man." You know. And I sat down, and like 2 seconds later, like a bunch of addicts, man, started getting out of their cars, man, and welcoming me, right, and making me feel like a part of their meeting down there, right. And I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for Narcotics Anonymous, man. You know, I wouldn't have that today, right? So, anyways, like this bondage, man, or like this 7-step, I'm finding it like harder recently, man, to like, you know, life gets busy, man, right? They told me that when I got here, but I really didn't believe it, man. Like life gets busy, you get all these responsibilities when you stay around here, but like I still gotta make time for my step work. So like I took it with me, right? And I'm in my hotel room, you know, and it said something in there, man, about, you know, instead of me praying for the shortcoming to be lifted, you know, how about I pray for the God of my understanding to remove the compulsion of the shortcoming, right? And it like hit me, right? Because this is a men's conference, right? So, you know, when Nick used to go out of town before, Nick gets hookers, right? That's what I do. I go on Backpage, I get hookers, they get the dope from me, and we're off and running, man. You know, because nobody knows me out of town, man. You know, so I'm like sitting in this hotel room, right? And I read this and I answered the question, right? And then like the obsession came on to me, man. You know, the obsession came on to me, man. And like, no one will